What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Muscle and Flow podcast. And this is episode number 1. So if you're listening, thank you. What we want to talk about today with our first episode really is what Muscle and Flow Fitness is, where we're trying to go with the podcast, goals we'd like to accomplish going down the road. So thanks for tuning in. I think the best way to get you an idea on how Muscle and Flow got started is to give you a little bit of background about me. I moved down to New Orleans in 2013 for grad school. My first year in 2013, in addition to going to grad school, I was also coaching CrossFit as a way to make a little extra money as a student. And I made regionals my first year doing the CrossFit Open. During that 6 years from 2013 to 2019, I'd been able to make regionals each year and competed at a pretty high level in the sport. Going into the 2019 regional, I had pretty much made up my mind it was going to be my last year competing at that level. They hadn't announced the new change to the format yet, but even before that, I kind of told myself this was going to be it. And there was a little bit of fear there. I would say it was more fear of the unknown competing had been such a big part of kind of who people saw me as. And once it ended, didn't really know really what was going to be next. But it ended up being pretty much the best thing for me, because once I kind of let go of the competition side of things, I started really discovering what I was passionate about. And that was just promoting and being able to coach people on this healthy lifestyle and really use it as this agent of change for all elements of your life. Once I stopped really focusing all of my efforts on just competing in CrossFit, I started trying to take as many different fitness classes as I could. Just kind of exploring everything that's out there. Just for example, I had taken spin classes, I had taken yoga classes, I took a Bosu ball class, and I'm still doing a lot of endurance training. I'm training for a half Ironman that I'll be doing in September. And as you start to take all these different classes, you start to meet a lot of different people. And all of these people, a lot of them are instructors, they're coaches just like me, and they're what I would call kind of the fitness leaders in our community. And I started to really kind of think that I had been coaching for 6 years, and I don't know nearly as many other coaches as I should outside of what I was doing. And it's important to do that because we're all trying to do the same thing. I mean, we may have different methods and ways on getting there, but our goal is the same, is to promote a healthy lifestyle, to help people become better versions of themselves. And once you start meeting these people, it's interesting because you talk to them, you get to know them on a deeper level, and then you really start to have the conversations with them, and you find out we all have weird ways on how we got to where we are. It's definitely, I don't know any of us that made this decision at like 15 years old where we just kind of told ourselves like, you know what, I'm going to coach whatever it may be, and that's going to be my career. We all have very, very different ways on how we got there. And I started to see this common thread. And the common thread was there's different paths. So it was like a common thread of uncommon means. And that's when I started to kind of really look at this aspect that we all are very dedicated to what we do with our field, our fitness, our exercise, whatever it may be. And then we have that other side that's all a little different. And I kind of broke it down into 2 pieces, muscle and flow. Muscle being what you do for whatever your fitness or training may be. Flow being all of your variables outside of that. And I truly believe each person has their own muscle and flow. So for instance, the flow is a huge umbrella, and everything that kind of falls under it could be everything from what you eat what you read, the music you listen to, your family situation, all of these kind of influence who you are. And each person's muscle and flow is very interesting to me because it's a big part of who you are, how you became who you are, and who you're going to be in the future. And what I want to do with the Muscle and Flow podcast is kind of use this as a platform to hear as many different stories as I can and learn more about how people use their flow to really reach their potential. Because like I said, I truly believe every person has their own muscle and flow. And the more you meet people and the more you talk to them, you can learn about their muscle, you can learn about their flow. And the more you kind of share ideas on different topics, we can begin to take some of those elements to even help ourselves. Because none of us are perfect. We all have different areas we can improve on. But the best way to improve on that is to surround yourself by like-minded people and begin sharing ideas. And I really want to get everyone's story out there as much as I can and allow a wider audience to get these ideas, because I want to promote this healthy lifestyle, because I know it can literally change someone's life. It's changed my life for the better. I couldn't imagine doing anything other than what I do now. I love my job. I love what I do. I love the people I get to interact with. They make me a better person, and I'm hoping I'm helping them. I think I do my job pretty well. But I really think the benefit of creating a platform for people to tell their story and share their muscle, share their flow, is it does this strengthening of the mind and body. And I'm a firm believer, anybody that's ever talked to me, I'll talk their ear off about it, is I truly believe the mind and body are connected. And we need to utilize both of those elements to reach our full potential as human beings. So if we're only training hard in the gym, but then we're not really pushing ourselves in the other elements in our life, if we're not trying to learn more, if we're not trying to be a better father, wife, husband, doctor, lawyer, whatever your career may be, out if it's not a career in fitness, we're finding flaws in our mind and body. And these flaws are all kind of areas for improvement. And when we improve upon those, that's when we begin to reach our potential. And like I said, I really want to use this podcast going forward as a way to bring people together from all areas who are in pursuit of reaching their potential. I truly believe that every person has this kind of inner badass switch within them, for lack of a better term. And it's just hard for them to realize or find it and know how to flip it. And there's a potential that maybe they relate very, very similar to someone else, but they just haven't connected with that person yet. And with the hopes of trying to bring as different guests on, different people on just to hear their story, maybe you'll begin to find connections through that. So it doesn't even necessarily have to be a person who is an elite level athlete at whatever sport or CrossFit or yoga or spin, or the best coach in the world, whatever it may be. You have people who don't have a lot of time. There are people who are with kids and full-time jobs and very demanding jobs at that, who are still using that one extra hour a day they have to then begin to get the most out of the muscle side of their muscle and flow. And I want to hear from people like that as well. So going forward with the Muscle and Flow Fitness podcast, my goal is to start hearing as many stories as possible. I want to learn from people. I want to learn how they got to where they are, mistakes they've made along the way, how they've learned from those mistakes, what were some of their experiences, if they have advice for people on a similar path, what advice that may be. So if you fall into that category, if you're someone that would like to be on the show, if you have a terrific story to tell, I would love to talk to you about it. Feel free to shoot me a message on my Instagram. It is at Phil_Guillot. That is PHIL_GUILLOT. And this is episode number 1 of Muscle and Flow Fitness Podcast. And thank you guys for listening. With this episode, I really just wanted to give you guys an idea on what Muscle and Flow Fitness is, where we want to go with the podcast. And I can't wait to start contacting people, getting great guests on the show, really giving you guys some good content. So thanks for listening. And like I said, if you have a great story to tell, please feel free, message me. I'd love to hear about it. And just keep going after that goal to help everybody find their muscle and flow and reach their full potential. That's what it's all about. Thank you.